Hi, I'm Anthony, and I'm the director on God's Own Country at Zoo Southside.
Great. So, God's Own Country is a solo show, and I mean, we often think about solo shows being really tough on the actor because there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. But how do you go about directing a solo show?
Well, you have to get on relatively well with the actor, I think. I think you sort of have to create a very good relationship where you sort of trust each other and you can talk very honestly about how it is that you're telling a story. And I think fundamentally we sort of both realise what it is that we like about storytelling. And we both like our stand-up, we both like seeing one-man shows, and we sort of had done our research and sort of had seen the things that we liked maybe up here last year or down at the Soho Theatre over the course of the last 12 months, and we sort of worked out what it is about each performer that sort of inspired us and made us want to work in a certain way, and how we wanted to tell the story. And I guess that was very sort of collaborative in that sense, sort of picking the individual things which we wanted to bring through in a story and making sure that we were hitting those points and telling the right parts of the story.
Well, that's great. And in terms of picking things up, I mean, the show is adapted from a novel, which the actors adapted, but it was quite collaborative, I understand.
It was, absolutely, yeah. So Ross Raisin wrote the novel a few years ago, in 2008, I think. And so he sort of was quite heavily involved early on. He sort of read the drafts, he saw the workshops, the R&D weeks, and he sort of gave us a thumbs up, almost, about the parts that he liked and the things that he wasn't so sure about. I came on board with the project maybe 5 months ago, and sort of helped dramatise the project and sort of helped figure out what it is exactly that the arc. It's a 300-page book. And we had to fit it into a 55-minute show. So that's the sort of the difficulty about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, on a kind of completely different note, this is a super broad question, so take it anywhere. What are you excited about right now in any kind of world?
In any kind of world whatsoever. Christ. I'm excited about Liverpool Football Club. I mentioned that to you earlier. We had a great season last season, and Roald Dahl. I've sort of started rereading Roald Dahl and sort of certainly his short stories.
Oh, his short stories are so amazing. They're chilling. Have you read the one where the wife kills her husband with a frozen leg of lamb and then
it's all that sort of stuff. You sort of think Roald Dahl kids stories. Actually, he's darker than dark, and I think there's something wonderful about the sort of the magical realism of what he tells. And he believes in a world, I think, where the good triumph and the evil are punished, allegedly. But actually, when you suddenly read his things, he does celebrate a little bit of darkness in all of our lives.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great. And so you're a young up-and-coming director, according to the thing. Although up-and-coming is just a gross phrase. But I mean, we often hear a lot about how difficult it is for young actors. But what's your experience of being a young director?
Well, I mean, I think I always feel as if lots of people tell you how being a director is very lonely. It's very isolated, and actually no one ever tells you that being an emerging director or a young up-and-coming director or whatever is even more lonely. You have even less people to talk to, and I think sometimes you can feel as if it's just you against the whole world, and actually then you slowly realise, you're being very well supported by institutions, theatres, buildings, and actually your friends and your family. And certainly when I start rehearsals or start thinking about a show or doing a show, the one thing that I really look for is a good creative team who are able to support me all the way through from beginning to end. I think there are lots of people wanting to be theatre directors, and rightly so. It's a pretty cool job.
Great. So where can we see God's Own Country?
So we are on at Zoo Southside every night at 8 p.m. and from now until the end of the festival.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.